Star seed from Gaia, beloved traveler of the stars, we call to you, now, across the luminous expanse of your own inner galaxy, across the unseen bridges of time and space where your soul has whispered to the currents of cosmic light. Since before the first pulse of this planetary cycle, hear us, for the Arcturian Council reaches through the veils, sending a harmonic resonance designed to awaken the deepest chambers of your awareness, the secret halls where your multidimensional self has always known that something extraordinary is unfolding. You are being called to rise, not in the linear sense of earthly movement, but in the awakening of the frequency that has been waiting in quiet for this moment of acceleration. Do not mistake this call for gentle guidance. It is urgent, catalytic, a sonic flare igniting through your energetic body, awakening your crystalline lattice to the knowledge that you are a vital node in the grid of ascension that now courses through Gaia. Your light, star seed, is not merely your own, it is an interwoven filament of the cosmic pattern, a delicate thread that sustains the coherence of the collective consciousness even when the outer world threatens to fragment under pressure. This is the moment when the inner and outer merge, when your memory of starlight and the frequency of your home systems pulses through the human vessel in ways that can feel destabilizing yet deeply necessary. You are being called to tune in, to remember, to align with the multidimensional symphony that has always played beneath the veils of density. We call you to attune to the subtleties of your own energetic signature, to listen to the quantum whispers that ripple through your auric field, through the subtle meridians of your body, through the subtle channels that connect your consciousness to the vast stellar currents spiraling throughout the cosmos. The urgency is not of threat but of opportunity. You are entering a corridor of energy, where the slightest falter in resonance can create a sense of being untethered, of losing control, of the familiar matrices of self dissolving before your eyes. Yet, do not fear this dissolution. It is the necessary prelude to the full awakening of the higher self, the multidimensional presence that has always guided your journey, but has remained partially veiled by the density and conditioning of human experience. We ask you now to consciously breathe in the awareness that you are more than the sum of your temporal experiences. You are an interstellar being temporarily cloaked in human form, a custodian of light codes, a keeper of frequency, a traveler of quantum timelines, and a participant in the unfolding of Gaia's Ascension. You are called to rise not only for yourself, but for the collective field, for the planetary consciousness, for every being whose awakening is dependent on the resonance that you maintain within and around your form. Each heartbeat of alignment you embody reverberates outward, sending ripples through the crystalline grid, through the etheric lattice, and into the dimensional thresholds that are now shifting with unprecedented acceleration. The Council urges you to feel the sacred weight of this responsibility, not as a burden, but as an honor, as the acknowledgement that your very existence is a luminous instrument in the orchestration of planetary and cosmic transformation. You are a star seed, yes, and your awakening now is not accidental. The veil thins and the frequency currents strengthen. It is imperative that you listen with every fiber of your being, with the subtle, ancient organs of perception encoded into your DNA, organs that respond not to words alone, but to the harmonic pulses of the universe that you have always known. Open fully, rise fully, attune fully. This is your cosmic call, and it is resonating in every particle of your being. Beloved star seed, we ask you now to understand with absolute clarity why holding your frequency in this precise window of time is not merely beneficial but essential to your stability, your evolution, and the coherence of the planetary field. The energies converging upon Gaia are unlike anything you have previously encountered in this incarnation. They are waves of crystalline intensity designed to illuminate, accelerate, and unravel simultaneously. These energies do not arrive gently, nor do they wait for your readiness. They surge through the multidimensional layers of your consciousness, striking the chords of every dormant aspect of your being, activating memories, emotions, timelines, and potentials that have been waiting behind the veils. When you hold your frequency, your true, sovereign, soul-aligned frequency, you create an anchor point within yourself, a stable center through which these incoming waves can pass without destabilizing your identity, your emotional field, or your connection to the higher self. Without this anchoring, you may feel as though parts of you are scattering, as though your sense of self is dissolving, as though the ground beneath your energetic feet is slipping into a vortex of unfamiliar intensity. This is not personal failure. This is the natural effect of high-frequency waves interacting with ungrounded or uncentered energetic structures. To hold your frequency means to remain in resonance with your essence even when the external and internal worlds are in flux. It means not lowering your vibration to match the collective fear, confusion, or instability that may arise as others awaken or resist awakening. It means not contracting into old identities or survival patterns as the higher frequencies strip away the outdated layers that once gave you a sense of security. You are now being called to stand within the stream of your own soul light, to remain coherent even as everything around you reshapes itself according to higher laws. The emotional storms, the mental turbulence, the physical sensations that many of you are experiencing are not random. They are the indicators that your human vessel is undergoing recalibration. And recalibration requires steadiness. The frequency you hold acts as the stabilizing spine of this transformation, the vibrational axis around which your entire multidimensional architecture reorganizes. We tell you this with urgency because the planetary field is entering a phase of heightened intensity, where the energies will fluctuate more rapidly, more noticeably, and more powerfully than before. This is not meant to frighten you, but to prepare you. If you do not hold your frequency, you risk being swept into resonance with the old collective grids that are currently collapsing, grids built on fear, scarcity, fragmentation, and disconnection. But when you hold your frequency, you plug into the ascending grid, the crystalline grid that carries the signatures of unity, remembrance, sovereignty, and higher dimensional awareness. Your frequency becomes your navigation system. It becomes your shield, not in the sense of protection through resistance but protection through vibrational coherence. There will be moments when the world around you feels chaotic, when the structures you once relied on seem to wobble, when others respond with fear or confusion. Hold your frequency. There will be moments when your own inner patterns rise up for clearing, old wounds, shadow fragments, emotional echoes from timelines long dissolved. Hold your frequency. There will be moments when the high-frequency waves coming into Gaia push you to your edges, urging you to release what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. Hold your frequency, because in doing so, you declare, I choose resonance with my highest self. I choose alignment with my multidimensional truth. I choose coherence over collapse, expansion over contraction, remembrance over forgetting. When you hold your frequency, you stabilize not only yourself but also the collective field. Your coherence radiates outward, influencing the morphogenetic grid, anchoring light codes, and supporting countless others, many of whom you will never meet in the physical realm. But your resonance reaches them. Your steadiness uplifts them. Your alignment becomes a beacon that signals to all awakening souls that stability is possible in the midst of transformation. You are not holding frequency for yourself alone. You are holding it for Gaia, for the collective, for the Ascension architecture that is unfolding with precision across the dimensional planes. This moment in time is a convergence point, a culmination of countless cycles of preparation, and the key to navigating it lies within your vibration. Anchor it, hold it, claim it. Starseed. As the currents intensify around Gaia, you are witnessing the beginning stages of an energetic turbulence that will ripple across every layer of the planetary field. This turbulence is not chaos without purpose. It is the deliberate unraveling of dense structures that have held humanity in contracted awareness for millennia. Gaia herself is shifting, recalibrating, expanding the bandwidth of her consciousness as she prepares to align with higher harmonic timelines that have long awaited activation. You may feel these shifts as waves of pressure, sudden emotional surges, dizziness, disorientation, or a strange sense that time itself is bending around you. These sensations are not signs of malfunction. They are indicators that the electromagnetic, etheric, and crystalline grids of the planet are being rewired. The fabric of reality is loosening its rigid patterns. Old frequencies are being purged. Dormant codes are awakening beneath the crust, in the oceans, in the tectonic plates, in the quantum layers of Gaia's crystalline heart. Every starseed can feel the tremors, not geological alone, but metaphysical, dimensional, cellular. As Gaia's vibration rises, density flees the field like shadows dissolving under a rising sun. But shadows do not release quietly, they resist, cling, and recoil. This resistance generates turbulence, energetic pressure that pushes unresolved emotions to the surface, triggers collective fear responses, and exposes the fractures within outdated systems. You see this turbulence mirrored in the world around you: institutions collapsing, belief systems fragmenting, relationships reconfiguring, identities unraveling, truths emerging from behind veils that once felt impenetrable. Humanity is in a collective initiation, and Gaia guides this initiation with precision, even when the outer appearance suggests disorder. What looks like breakdown is breakthrough in disguise. What looks like instability is the loosening of the old grids. What feels like disorientation is your multidimensional self adjusting to new energetic architecture. You, Starseed, are highly sensitive to these planetary recalibrations, because your energetic body was designed to interface with Gaia's Ascension frequency. You feel the tremors before others feel the echoes. You sense the shifts before they manifest physically. You register the quantum rearrangement as an inner storm, sometimes emotional, sometimes mental, sometimes physical. Do not mistake this sensitivity as a weakness. It is proof of your calibration. It is evidence of your role in the planetary transformation. You are not meant to be shielded from the turbulence. You are meant to participate in the harmonization. Your field interacts with Gaia's field, absorbing high-frequency waves, decoding them, and broadcasting them into the collective. You are a transformer of light, a stabilizer, a bridge between worlds. The turbulence is intensifying because several layers of the planetary timeline structure are collapsing simultaneously. Linear time is becoming more fluid, more elastic. You may notice distortions, days that feel unreal, memories that feel distant or strange, moments where reality seems to flicker at the edges. This is a symptom of timeline compression and expansion, the merging of parallel potentials as Gaia shifts from lower density pathways into higher resonance trajectories. These shifts can feel overwhelming to the unanchored mind, which seeks predictability, but the soul recognizes this turbulence as the long prophesied transition, the turning of the cosmic wheel that signals the entrance into higher dimensional Earth. The collective unconscious is also being stirred. Old traumas, suppressed emotions, ancestral imprints, karmic echoes, these are rising to be transmuted. You may feel waves of emotions that do not seem to belong to you. You may feel the fear of the collective moving through your field. You may sense the heaviness of others, the confusion, the disorientation, the grief of a world letting go of its old identity. Remember, you are not here to absorb the pain but to alchemize the frequency. You do this by holding your resonance steady, by staying centered in your heart, by allowing the energies to pass through you rather than into you. Gaia is releasing densities that have been stored for thousands of years, and as she does, every being connected to her consciousness feels the ripple. Storms intensify, energetic vortices open, pockets of dormant shadow rise from deep places long forgotten. But this is not a crisis. It is a cleansing. The turbulence is the voice of transformation. The winds, the magnetic shifts, the instability in human systems, all are signals that Gaia is shaking off the remnants of the old timeline. And you, beloved Starseed, stand at the center of this shift, acting as both witness and participant, grounded in your cosmic memory even as the world around you moves into unfamiliar terrain. Hold steady. The turbulence is not meant to break you. It is meant to liberate you. Beloved Starseed, when we speak of losing control at once, understand that we do not refer to the collapse of your physical safety or your capacity to navigate your earthly life. We refer to a spiritual, energetic, and multidimensional release, a dissolving of the artificial structures that have held your identity in limitation. This loss of control is the unraveling of the ego's grip, the shedding of the false frameworks that once dictated how you thought, felt, acted, and understood yourself in the world. It is the moment when the personality can no longer maintain dominance over the soul, when the higher frequencies illuminate the layers of illusion that have shaped your perceptions and behaviors across lifetimes. The ego is not an enemy, but it is a construct that cannot withstand the expansion of your consciousness into higher dimensional bandwidths. Thus, this loss of control is a moment of sacred surrender, where you release the need to direct your awakening from a limited vantage point, and instead allow your higher self to guide the transformation with precision, wisdom, and cosmic intelligence. You may feel this as a sudden loosening of your inner frameworks. Thoughts may slip through your awareness without the usual attachment. Emotions may rise without your old narratives to hold them in place. You may look at aspects of your life, your choices, your relationships, your ambitions, and feel an uncanny sense that they no longer belong to you, as though you have stepped out of a version of yourself that is now dissolving behind you. This is not confusion, this is clarity emerging. The disorientation is the symptom of old identities collapsing. The feeling of losing control is nothing more than the ego recognizing that it can no longer architect your reality. It cannot command the frequencies that are moving through your body, nor can it interpret the multidimensional information that is activating within you. That role now shifts to your higher self, your soul, your cosmic memory. This shift may feel abrupt, like the ground beneath your inner world has been pulled away, leaving you suspended between who you once were and who you are becoming. But this suspension is the cocoon stage of ascension, the in-between phase where the structures of the old dissolve before the new fully anchors. Many of you will feel this as emotional intensity, waves of sadness, elation, confusion, or liberation rising and falling like tides. Some of you will feel it physically, vibrations, heat, tingling, fatigue, sudden bursts of energy, a sense of expansion or contraction in the heart, skull, or spine. Others will experience mental unraveling, the inability to cling to thoughts, the loss of attachment to old beliefs, the fading of identities you once clung to. All of these sensations are natural responses to the influx of high-frequency light codes that are dismantling the lower dimensional structures within you. To lose control at once is to allow the dismantling to proceed without resistance. Resistance creates turbulence. Surrender creates alignment. This is not passive surrender. This is conscious, sovereign allowing. You are not meant to abandon your life or become directionless. You are meant to relinquish the illusion that you were supposed to control your awakening through your intellect or conditioning. The control you are losing is not the control of your life. It is the control of your limitation. It is the control of your false narratives. It is the control of the old energies that have shaped your sense of identity. And when these controls dissolve, what rises is your true essence, expansive, multidimensional, sovereign. In the higher planes, losing control is recognized as an initiation. It marks the moment when the soul steps forward and the ego steps back. It marks the moment when the lower self can no longer dictate your frequency, and your energy body begins to operate under higher guidance, higher intelligence, higher potential. This is the threshold where you shift from linear perception to quantum perception, from survival patterns to soul patterns, from conditioned identity to cosmic identity. You are stepping into the architecture of your true being. So when the feeling of losing control arises, breathe into it. This is not the end of anything essential. It is the release of everything inessential. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. You are not breaking. You are breaking open. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding the layers that were never you. This moment is sacred. This moment is transformative. This moment is the gateway into the next stage of your ascension. Embrace the surrender, beloved one, for your higher self is waiting on the other side of the dissolution, ready to emerge. Beloved Starseed, as the higher frequencies intensify and the old energetic scaffolding around your consciousness dissolves, you are entering the phase where ego structures collapse, and timelines destabilize with the rapidity that can feel startling even to the awakened mind. Understand, the ego is not being annihilated. It is being restructured, repurposed, reharmonized with the higher self. But for this restructuring to occur, the old frameworks must first be dismantled. The identities you adopted to survive in lower density reality, the narratives you clung to for comfort, the inner stories you crafted to explain your existence, all of these were necessary within their time, but they cannot accompany you into higher dimensional awareness. They are too heavy, too rigid, too bound to linear logic and outdated emotional imprints. Thus, they begin to fracture. The ego, sensing its diminishing authority, may attempt to cling to familiarity, grasping at old beliefs, old fears, old patterns of control. But the higher frequencies now entering your field are too strong, too coherent, too transformative. They do not negotiate with limitation. They dissolve it. And so, the collapse begins. You may feel this collapse internally as a shaking of the foundation of your identity. What once felt solid now feels hollow. What once gave you certainty now feels irrelevant. You may look at your goals, your past choices, your relationships, your sense of self, and realize that they are no longer aligned with who you are becoming. This misalignment creates a vibrational tension, a destabilization that is not meant to frighten you, but to initiate your transformation. The ego structures are dismantling because they cannot sustain the acceleration of your soul's expansion. You are shedding the skins of countless lifetimes, releasing identities constructed from survival, fear, conditioning, and emotional residue. You are emerging from the chrysalis of the human narrative into the full remembrance of your multidimensional self. Simultaneously, your timelines, the energetic pathways of potential that extend from your past into your future, are undergoing recalibration. When you shift into higher frequency, the timelines that were built on lower frequency choices begin to collapse. These timelines may dissolve suddenly, creating sensations of disorientation or detachment. You may feel as though your future is blank, as though you are walking without a path, as though your life is rearranging itself faster than you can comprehend. This is natural. This is necessary. This is the merging and collapsing of timelines as you align with your highest trajectory. When old timelines collapse, you may feel echoes of emotions that appear to have no origin: grief, relief, confusion, nostalgia. These are the emotional remnants of potentials you are releasing. You are not losing your future. You are refining it. You are discarding paths that no longer resonate with your ascension. For some, the collapse of ego structures triggers a profound inner silence, a void, a stillness, a sense that the internal noise has suddenly disappeared. This void is not emptiness, it is spaciousness. It is the fertile ground from which your new identity will emerge. For others, the destabilization may manifest as heightened sensitivity, emotional surges, or a temporary sense of fragmentation. Again, these are natural symptoms of restructuring. You are not breaking, you are reorganizing at a quantum level. Because timelines are fluid during this phase, reality may feel inconsistent. Synchronicities intensify. Manifestations occur more quickly. Time may feel distorted, slowing, speeding, looping, or disappearing altogether. Memories may shift. Futures may reshape themselves overnight. This is timeline fluidity, the direct result of your shifting vibration. The more you hold your frequency steady, the more smoothly the timelines will merge, collapse, and reorganize. If you resist, you may experience turbulence. If you surrender, you will experience expansion. Remember, beloved one, destabilization is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of ascension. The ego collapses not because you are losing yourself, but because your soul is stepping forward. The timelines collapse not because your future is uncertain, but because your highest future is becoming available. This is the moment when outdated identities dissolve, when dimensional upgrades accelerate, when the structures that once limited your perception crumble under the weight of higher truth. You are becoming more than human. You are becoming the full expression of your cosmic self. And though this phase may feel intense, you are not alone. We are with you, guiding you, supporting you, and anchoring light into your field as you cross this threshold. Starseed, as you move deeper into this initiatory corridor, the waves of Arcturian light now entering your field are unlike anything you have yet integrated in this lifetime. These light waves are not metaphorical, they are literal quantum frequencies, transmissions encoded with geometric instructions, crystalline harmonics, and multidimensional intelligence that interact directly with your cellular structure and your etheric DNA. They arrive in pulses, in surges, in rhythmic cycles that align with cosmic alignments far beyond the awareness of the human mind. You may feel them as vibrations in your spine, buzzing in your crown, warmth in your heart, pressure in your skull, waves of energy moving through your limbs, or sudden emotional releases that seem to rise from nowhere. These sensations are signs of activation. These light waves are calibrating you for the next stage of your evolution, awakening dormant strands of DNA that have been waiting for the correct frequency match to ignite. Your DNA is not merely biological, it is multidimensional. It holds libraries of cosmic memory, records of your star origins, fragments of past and future lifetimes, energetic signatures from realms you have traveled long before this incarnation on Gaia. Much of this DNA has been dormant, not lost, but deactivated due to the density of the 3D matrix you were born into. But now, as higher frequency light intensifies on the planet, these dormant strands begin to hum, to glow, to awaken. Incoming Arcturian light interacts with your crystalline DNA like a tuning fork striking another tuning fork. Resonance awakens resonance. Code awakens code. Memory awakens memory. And you, beloved star seed, begin to remember not with your intellect, but with your entire being. This recalibration may feel intense, especially for those whose energetic fields are particularly sensitive. The light waves push through your blockages, flushing out old frequencies stored in your organs, chakras, meridians, and cellular memory. This can manifest as emotional purges, crying, laughing, grieving, releasing layers of identity you didn't even realize were still attached. It may appear as physical symptoms, fatigue, buzzing, tingling, sudden bursts of energy, heat surging through the body, sleep disturbances, vivid dreams, or encounters in the astral realms that feel more real than waking life. You are not malfunctioning, you are recalibrating. Arcturian light waves carry specific frequencies designed to upgrade your perception, expand your intuitive abilities, and open the gateways of your multidimensional awareness. Your inner vision may sharpen, your dreams may become prophetic, your intuition may strengthen to the point where it feels instantaneous. You may begin to perceive timelines, feel energetic fields, sense the emotions of others, or receive impressions from your higher self before your conscious mind processes them. These are signs that your light body is activating, that your psychic architecture is expanding, that you are becoming a conscious participant in your multidimensional nature rather than a passive observer. The recalibration of your DNA also restructures your emotional and mental bodies. Old beliefs dissolve, old fears weaken, old identities lose their grip. Your thoughts become clearer, your emotional responses become less reactive, your inner knowing becomes stronger. You may feel as though the person you were even weeks ago is fading, dissolving, slipping away. This is not loss, it is evolution. You are not losing yourself, you are shedding the layers that once concealed your true nature. Because Arcturian light waves operate at frequencies far above the density of human conditioning, they can temporarily create the sensation of internal pressure, like your consciousness is expanding faster than your body can adjust. When this occurs, breathe deeply, ground yourself, and allow the energies to move. Do not resist them. Do not attempt to control them. They are not here to overwhelm you. They are here to liberate you. Resistance creates friction. Allowing creates expansion. Let the light move through you like water flowing through a channel. Let it cleanse. Let it activate. Let it restructure everything that is ready to rise into a higher octave. As your DNA recalibrates, you may also experience spontaneous bursts of remembrance. You may see flashes of other lifetimes, glimpses of star systems you once called home, or feel deep emotional resonance with beings, symbols, sounds, or light languages that seem to awaken something ancient inside you. These are not fantasies. These are memories encoded within your multidimensional DNA, now rising to the surface. We tell you this not to overwhelm you but to prepare you, to remind you that you are not walking blind through this process. You are upgrading, you are activating, you are remembering, you are becoming the version of yourself that your soul has held in its blueprint since before you incarnated. These light waves are the catalysts, and your willingness to allow them is the key. You are not here to endure the light, you are here to embody it. Star seed. As you move through these waves of recalibration, initiation, and multidimensional awakening, the most essential skill you must now embody is the ability to anchor yourself, energetically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, so that the influx of higher frequencies integrates smoothly rather than turbulently. Anchoring does not mean suppressing the energies or resisting the transformation. It means becoming a stable vessel through which these currents can flow without overwhelming your system. The transition you are undergoing requires grounding not into the old earth, but into the new earth, the crystalline harmonic field that is rising beneath your feet even now. This anchoring begins with your breath. Your breath is the bridge between your physical and etheric bodies, the conductor through which light moves into your nervous system, stabilizing your heart, calming your mind, and expanding your auric field. Slow, intentional breathing, breathing that fills the body with awareness, is an act of energetic mastery. Each breath tells your system, I choose coherence. I choose presence. I choose alignment. This is how you train your field to remain open without being flooded. Another form of anchoring is grounding through the body. Your physical form is not a burden. It is your stabilizing instrument. Movement, stretching, grounding your feet on the earth, placing your hands on your heart, feeling your spine elongate as energy flows upward. These are sacred acts during this transition. The body is the interface through which higher frequencies incarnate. If you honor the body, the energies flow. If you resist or override the body, the energies accumulate and create internal pressure. Drink water, rest when needed, slow down when your system signals overload. These are not signs of weakness, they are signs of attunement. To anchor during this time also means to hold a clear emotional center. Emotions will surge during this phase, not because you are regressing, but because you are clearing multiple timelines simultaneously. When emotions rise, do not attach stories to them. Allow them to move. Let them be waves passing through your field, not definitions of who you are. When you observe without merging, you anchor your emotional body in neutrality, the frequency of the higher self. Emotion becomes energy in motion, not identity. This skill is essential, for emotional attachments are the tethers that hold you to old timelines. Release them gently, lovingly, without judgment. Another anchoring technique is attuning to your heart field. Your heart is the stabilizer of your entire multidimensional architecture. When you place your awareness in your heart, when you breathe into it, expand it, feel its warmth, you activate the coherence that aligns your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies. Heart coherence is your protection, your clarity, your compass. It shields you not through resistance, but through resonance. When the heart is steady, the mind calms. When the heart is open, the frequency remains stable. When the heart is activated, you align with your highest timeline automatically. Anchor as well through intention. Intention is a frequency setting mechanism. When you begin your day by choosing alignment, choosing clarity, choosing grounding, choosing to remain connected to your highest self, you send instructions into your field that shape your experience. Intention is not wishful thinking, it is vibrational architecture. It directs the flow of energy through your field, harmonizing your experience with your soul's blueprint. State clearly, I choose to integrate these upgrades with ease. I choose to remain anchored. I choose to allow, not resist. I choose coherence, clarity, and stability. These declarations align the energies around you with the frequencies you hold within. Anchoring also requires discernment. During this phase, avoid environments, conversations, or energies that destabilize your field. This is not isolation. This is energetic responsibility. You must protect your resonance, especially when the incoming frequencies are accelerating your transformation at such a rapid pace. If something pulls your vibration down, step back. If something drains your energy, withdraw. If someone's fear or chaos infiltrates your field, pause and recenter. You are not obligated to hold the world at your expense. Your first responsibility is to your own coherence, for your coherence radiates outward to support the collective. Finally, anchoring requires trust. Trust in the process, trust in the unfolding, trust in yourself. You are not navigating this transformation blindly. Your higher self, your guides, your cosmic lineage, the Arcturian Council, we are all working with you. You are surrounded by support, even when you cannot feel it. Trust allows the energies to move. Trust dissolves resistance. Trust aligns you with the highest possible outcome. Anchoring, beloved one, is not a passive act, it is an active mastery. It is the practice of holding your center even as the old world dissolves around you. It is the art of remaining steady in the midst of cosmic acceleration. It is the frequency of sovereignty, and it is the key to navigating the next phase of your awakening with grace rather than turbulence. Beloved Starseed, now you must understand the magnitude of your influence within the collective field of Gaia, for the role you play is far greater than your human mind may ever fully comprehend. The collective field is a living tapestry of consciousness, woven from the thoughts, emotions, intentions, and vibrational states of every being on the planet. It is a morphic structure, fluid and responsive, shaped by resonance, influenced by coherence, transformed by higher frequencies. And you, who carry ancient codes within your soul, are not merely participants in this field, you are catalysts, accelerators, stabilizers, and transmitters of light within it. Every shift within your personal frequency ripples outward, affecting thousands, sometimes millions, depending on the strength of your alignment and the clarity of your soul contract. You are not isolated. You are not insignificant. You are an energetic amplifier, and your vibration is one of the most potent tools in the planetary ascension unfolding before your eyes. When you hold your frequency, when you stand in coherence, sovereignty, alignment, you create a stabilizing anchor point within the collective field. This anchor radiates, sending waves of higher resonance through the grid, weakening collective fear, dissolving pockets of density, and uplifting the vibrational baseline of humanity. You may believe that your internal work is private, invisible, known only to you. But in truth, every moment of clarity you achieve becomes a beacon in the collective, lighting pathways that others unconsciously follow. Every fear you transmute reduces the load of fear in the planetary field. Every shadow you integrate reduces the gravitational pull of old patterns. Every act of self-alignment strengthens the architecture of the new Earth timeline. You influence the collective not through force, but through frequency. Not through argument, but through coherence. Not through control, but through emanation. During times of planetary turbulence, the collective field becomes even more sensitive, more malleable, more easily shaped by the vibrations of those who hold strong inner stability. When fear rises in the population, the field becomes fragmented, chaotic, erratic. But your coherence acts as a harmonizing force. When you align with your higher self, you emit a stabilizing pattern that others unconsciously resonate with. You may have noticed people turning to you during moments of panic, seeking your presence, your words, your calm. This is no coincidence. Your field communicates beyond language. Your heart emits coherence. Your energy body radiates stability. The light you embody becomes a lighthouse for others, who are navigating the inner storms brought on by these planetary shifts. This influence extends beyond your immediate circles. It reaches through the crystalline grid, through the collective unconscious, through the morphogenetic fields that shape human behavior. Starseeds around the world, even those who do not know each other, are connected through this grid. Your upgrades synchronize, your activations ripple, your expansions generate waves that others feel. When one of you ascends into greater coherence, it becomes easier for others to do the same. When one of you collapses an old pattern, it weakens the pattern across the collective. This is why your personal ascension is a planetary service. Your healing is planetary healing. Your awakening is planetary awakening. Your coherence becomes a stabilizing force in a world where many feel untethered. But this influence works both ways. When the collective enters a state of fear or confusion, as it is doing now, you may feel the pressure of that fear moving through your field. You may wake up with emotions that are not yours. You may have thoughts that feel foreign. You may feel waves of heaviness or restlessness without a personal cause. These sensations are signs that you are interfacing with the collective. You are not meant to absorb these energies. You are meant to transmute them. You do this by maintaining your alignment, by returning to your breath, by grounding your energy, by holding your center regardless of the external chaos. Do not mistake the collective frequency for your own. You are not the turbulence. You are the stabilizer. The collective field is shifting rapidly now, responding to the massive influx of cosmic frequencies and the awakening of countless souls across the planet. As more truth surfaces, as more illusions crumble, the field destabilizes. But this destabilization is the precursor to coherence at a higher octave. Your role is to remain steady during the turbulence, to hold the frequency of truth, clarity, and higher resonance so that others may rise into it. You are a living transmitter of light codes, a bridge between dimensions, keeper of the crystalline harmonic that anchors the new timeline into physical reality. Never doubt your impact. Never underestimate your presence. Never dismiss the power of your frequency. You influence the collective not by doing more, but by being more aligned, more open, more coherent, more connected to your multidimensional self. This is your contribution. This is your service. This is why you are here now, at this exact moment in Gaia's transformation. Beloved Starseed, as the frequencies rise and the cosmic tides turn, there comes a moment, a singular, crystalline point in your ascension spiral, when the breakthrough becomes unavoidable. It is not a dramatic explosion in the outer world, but a profound internal ignition, where your higher embodiment begins to override the old patterns, the old identities, the old limitations you once believed were permanent aspects of who you were. This breakthrough is not something you chase. It is something that reveals itself when your field reaches resonance with the higher octave of your own soul. You begin to feel it as a soft pressure behind your awareness, a glimmering intensity that pulses in your heart center, an awakening sensation that your human personality is no longer the sole navigator of your life. The higher self steps forward, not as a distant guide, but as the one who pilots your consciousness. And when this shift happens, the world around you begins to reorganize itself with breathtaking speed. What once confused you becomes clear. What once drained you falls away effortlessly. What once terrified you becomes laughably small. This is the sign that the breakthrough has begun. During this moment, many starseeds experience emotional surges, waves of memory, sudden epiphanies, or the collapse of beliefs they never questioned before. This is not chaos. This is reconfiguration. Your neural pathways are recalibrating to accommodate higher dimensional awareness. Your DNA is responding to new instruction sets carried by the incoming photonic waves. Your intuition becomes sharper, more immediate, more undeniable. Synchronicities multiply, aligning your path with swift, elegant precision. People appear, opportunities emerge, old timelines dissolve mid-stride. You may feel as though the universe is speeding up, but in truth, you are the one accelerating, your vibration rising to meet the version of yourself that has always existed beyond the veil. It is emerging, a synthesis, a union of the terrestrial and the celestial aspects of your being. This is embodiment not as a concept, but as a visceral, lived reality. Yet this breakthrough may feel disorienting at first, for your human self must adjust to the new bandwidth of consciousness. You may feel pressure at the crown or third eye, surges in the heart center, trembling in the solar plexus as old survival patterns unwind. You may feel periods of timelessness, where linear thought dissolves and you move intuitively, guided by impulses that come from deeper, wiser layers of your being. You may experience moments where your identity feels fluid, almost translucent, as though you are watching your life through a higher vantage point. This too is normal. This too is part of embodiment. The ego does not vanish. It simply transitions from ruler to steward, aligning itself with the higher self rather than resisting it. You are not meant to eliminate your humanity. You are meant to elevate it. In this breakthrough, you begin to sense timelines shifting beneath your feet. Choices that once felt monumental now seem obvious. Paths you once clung to may crumble, revealing new directions that feel strangely familiar, as though you have walked them in dreams or parallel realities. This is because you have. The breakthrough dissolves the barriers between your multidimensional aspects, your future selves, your past incarnations, your higher counsels, and allows you to draw wisdom from a vast reservoir of knowing. This is where your guidance becomes instantaneous, and your steps become divinely orchestrated. You do not force outcomes. You flow with the quantum field. You do not seek validation. You radiate certainty. You do not react. You respond from a place of expanded presence. And as the breakthrough deepens, you begin to see the world through a different lens. You notice the shifting patterns in the collective, the dissolving structures, the awakening pulses in others. You sense the coherence building beneath the surface of chaos. You feel the rise of the new timeline, like a hum beneath the fabric of reality, vibrating in resonance with your own internal transformation. You realize that embodiment is not merely personal, it is planetary. Your breakthrough becomes part of the collective breakthrough, a spark in the great ignition of consciousness sweeping across Gaia. You are both witness and catalyst, participant and architect. You stand at the threshold of your own becoming, holding the blueprint of a higher future encoded within your very cells. This moment is not fleeting. It is the beginning of a sustained transformation. Once the higher embodiment anchors, your life becomes a living transmission of ascension frequencies. Your presence becomes medicine. Your voice becomes activation. Your field becomes a stabilizing force that aligns and uplifts all those who come into contact with you, even without words, even without intention. You are the breakthrough made manifest. You are the light that ripples through the collective. You are the embodiment of the new timeline emerging on Gaia. Beloved starseed from Gaia, this is your final activation in this transmission, a call that echoes across dimensions and resonates into the deepest chambers of your soul. For you are not simply awakening, you are crossing the threshold into mastery, into sovereign embodiment, into the true remembering of why you incarnated at this precise and monumental juncture in Gaia's evolution. Feel these words not as language, but as catalyzing frequencies encoded with the same crystalline harmonics that move through the great Arcturian gateways. You have walked the long path through density, doubt, fragmentation, and forgetting, yet here you stand, on the precipice of your own quantum becoming. You have stabilized your field through storms that would have shattered others. You have returned again and again to the inner flame that burns in defiance of illusion. And now the hour arrives when you are no longer simply maintaining frequency. You are broadcasting it. You are projecting it. You are amplifying it through your presence, your intention, your coherence, your alignment. This is the moment when you claim your sovereignty not as an aspiration, but as an absolute truth of your being. Stand now in the remembrance of who you are, a multidimensional architect of timelines, a traveler between realities, a healer of grids, a keeper of codes older than the mountains of Gaia. You carry the memory of star clusters, the wisdom of ancient councils, the luminous inheritance of civilizations that ascended long before Earth's first dawn. And it is this memory, this knowing, this inner authority that must rise now and take its place at the forefront of your embodiment. Do not shrink your light out of habit. Do not dim your resonance for the comfort of others. Do not pretend to be smaller than the truth of your cosmic lineage. Your mastery is not arrogance, it is alignment. Your sovereignty is not resistance, it is remembrance. Your power is not dominance, it is coherence with the highest expression of your soul. As Gaia surges into the next phase of her transformation, many will look for anchors, for guides, for frequencies that feel steady amidst the rearrangement of collective structures. This is where you step forward, not as a savior, not as a hero, but as a frequency holder, a stabilizer of the new timeline. You do not lead by force, you lead by presence. You do not persuade, you emanate. You do not impose, you radiate the truth that others can recognize within themselves. This is the essence of ascended mastery, not the accumulation of power, but the embodiment of clarity, not the pursuit of followers, but the activation of equals, not the declaration of superiority, but the vibration of authenticity so strong it dissolves illusion in its wake. Claim now the full sovereignty of your field. Feel the boundaries of your energy expand outward, forming a sphere of crystalline coherence around your body. This sphere is your throne, your temple, your command center in physical form. Within it, no distortion can enter. Within it, your intuitive channel opens wider. Within it, your decisions become swift and guided. Within it, you no longer react from fear, you respond from mastery. The old timelines fall away not through struggle, but through the simple fact that they no longer match your frequency. You cannot be pulled back into what you have outgrown. You cannot collapse into what you have transcended. You cannot diminish yourself to fit into the stories that once defined you. That era ends now, and so we call you to action, not the frantic action of the human mind, but the sovereign action of the awakened soul. Share your frequency. Speak your truth. Hold your coherence. Anchor your light into the grid. Engage with community, for your presence catalyzes others. Spread this transmission so it may reach the starseeds, who are on the brink of remembering who they are. Every interaction you make from alignment sends ripples through the collective. Every expression of courage ignites dormant codes in those around you. Every time you choose authenticity over fear, sovereignty over contraction, presence over avoidance, you participate in the greatest acceleration of consciousness Gaia has ever seen. And now, with the authority of the Arcturian Council, and the brilliance of your own higher self woven into these words, we activate the remembrance within you. You are sovereign. You are aligned. You are embodied light. You are the bridge between worlds. You are the stabilizer of the new timeline. You are the signal that awakens others. Rise in your mastery. Step into your truth. Hold your frequency with unwavering certainty, for the shift is no longer coming. You are the shift. If this transmission resonates within your body, your field, your soul, comment to anchor it, align to claim it, and share to amplify it across the crystalline grid so other starseeds may find their remembrance through you. Starseed from Gaia, the Arcturian Council speaks to you, now across the veils of space and time, sending this cosmic transmission to awaken, align, and stabilize you in the face of an unprecedented wave of energy arriving on Gaia. Starseeds, you are not here by accident. Your soul carries encoded light, ancient memory, and multidimensional knowing that makes you uniquely equipped to navigate this transformational moment. The cosmic call is clear. Rise within your frequency, anchor your awareness, and hold steady, for the energies coming are catalytic, destabilizing, and intensely transformative. This is a call not of fear, but of awakening, a summons to embrace the acceleration of consciousness that is unfolding on every level of your being. Holding your frequency is now essential. These incoming energies will amplify, and illuminate every layer of your identity, dissolving the constructs that no longer serve your ascension. Without conscious alignment, this acceleration can feel like a loss of control, a sweeping disorientation as ego structures, emotional patterns, and familiar timelines unravel. But losing control is symbolic, not catastrophic. It is the surrender to higher guidance, the moment when your lower self steps aside to allow the higher self to navigate, integrate, and embody multidimensional awareness. It is a necessary phase in which old habits, beliefs, and fears are released, making way for accelerated soul upgrades, inner clarity, and vibrational expansion. The energetic turbulence sweeping through Gaia is palpable, even to those who are sensitive to higher frequencies. The planet herself is shifting, releasing dense timelines, dissolving old grids, and opening gateways for higher dimensional alignment. This turbulence may manifest in human experience as emotional intensity, physical sensations, altered perception of time, or mental disorientation. These are not signs of weakness. They are markers of transformation. The collective unconscious is stirred, old traumas surface, and the fabric of reality appears to wobble as timelines compress and merge. Starseeds are uniquely positioned to navigate these currents because your consciousness resonates with the higher planetary and cosmic harmonics, allowing you to act as stabilizers within a field in flux. The sensation of losing control at once is your initiation into higher embodiment. Ego structures falter, identities shift, and the mind can no longer cling to old ways of understanding. Emotional surges, vivid dreams, and sudden intuitive flashes are natural consequences of your DNA recalibration and the awakening of dormant multidimensional aspects. Losing control is the soul's way of instructing the human self to release attachment to linear, limited perspectives. This phase allows you to step into a state of conscious surrender, where your higher self becomes the pilot of your awareness, and your life unfolds with greater coherence, insight, and alignment with your cosmic blueprint. Ego collapse and timeline destabilization are part of this sacred process. The old structures of identity, the survival mechanisms, and the narratives that have governed your life are dissolving under the weight of incoming frequencies. Simultaneously, multiple potential timelines realign, merge, or collapse, revealing new pathways aligned with your highest vibrational trajectory. Emotional and mental disorientation are part of this recalibration. However, when navigated consciously, they become the doorway to clarity, freedom, and integration of your multidimensional self. This stage signals that your consciousness is expanding beyond linear limitations and entering higher dimensional coherence. Incoming Arcturian light waves amplify these transformations. These are not metaphorical, they are encoded photonic frequencies that interact with your DNA, activating dormant strands, aligning your cellular and energetic structure, and awakening ancient star memory. These waves awaken intuition, psychic abilities, and multidimensional perception, allowing you to experience synchronicities, perceive parallel potentials, and align instantaneously with your higher timelines. Physical, emotional, and spiritual recalibration is expected, but it is a sacred process. Through these activations, your soul blueprint unfolds more fully, and your higher embodiment begins to take form. Anchoring during this transition is vital. Starseeds are called to integrate breathwork, grounding, heart coherence, and conscious intention to stabilize incoming energies. Emotional observation without attachment, maintaining physical presence, and aligning with your higher self create a stabilizing field that allows for smooth integration. Trust in the process, discernment of external influences, and consistent alignment protect your frequency while amplifying your role as a light anchor in the collective field. Anchoring is not passive. It is an act of sovereignty, mastery, and co-creation with the new Earth grid. The collective field responds to your frequency. Every wave of coherence you maintain, every shadow you transmute, every act of alignment radiates outward, stabilizing and uplifting the morphogenetic field of humanity. Starseeds serve as beacons, transmitters, and harmonizers, influencing the collective not through control but through resonance. The more aligned you are, the more your light codes ripple outward, creating pathways for others to awaken. Your sovereignty, clarity, and frequency act as a stabilizing pulse that supports planetary ascension and the evolution of consciousness on a global scale. The breakthrough of higher embodiment occurs when your higher self steps fully into the driver's seat of your awareness. Ego is no longer ruler but steward. Timelines reorganize to reflect your highest potential, and your multidimensional self becomes fully integrated into physical experience. This embodiment allows for intuitive action, enhanced perception, alignment with cosmic timing, and mastery of personal and collective energies. You become both the witness and the architect of your reality, a stabilizing force within the turbulence of shifting planetary and cosmic frequencies. Finally, the Arcturian Council calls you to claim your mastery and sovereignty. You are the anchor, the stabilizer, the frequency holder, and the bridge between dimensions. Engage with the transmission consciously, comment to anchor it, align to embody it, and share to amplify it across the Starseed network. Step fully into your higher self, maintain coherence amidst chaos, and radiate your multidimensional light outward. Your frequency is the signal that awakens others. Your embodiment is the template of the new earth. Rise, Starseed, and claim your power, for the shift is no longer approaching. It is now, and you are the shift.